unemployment in any country in the world is a breeding ground for social trouble, potentially. No doubt about that. And Saudi Arabia is no different. There's an imbalance here that has to be looked at. And this is another item that we're looking at very seriously.
Riyadh's fanciest shopping mall may look like anything in the West, but beneath the surface run fanatical social controls. Life is patrolled by the feared mutawa, or morality police, who have the power to jail those not behaving with proper piety. Girls and wives are covered, we're told, for their protection. Speaking to strangers, forbidden. To test their views, though, we gained rare access to a private girls' college. Only 3 obtained parental permission to be filmed.
Careful, make sure it's straight, okay?
20-year-old Maha Kalawi and her friends are all studying graphic design, yet differ on the impact of bin Laden.
It's stood up for the people who are quiet, angry people.
Muslims?
Yeah.
No,
that's not way.
No.
No, Muslims don't. This is not a Muslim action.
He's basically saying, he's telling the states, I'm not afraid of you.
Even for these young women, Islam defines their difference with what they see as an aggressive West.
It's like you have to choose sides. You know, the way Bush is acting, it's like you're either with me or against me. The way they are, you know, if you make us choose between our religion, you know, or helping you hurt our people, you know, we're gonna, choose our religion basically, because it's, you stick with your people.
Sticking with your people is what Muslim charity is all about. One of Saudi Arabia's biggest Islamic charities, Al Haramain, raises $100 million a year. It says builds mosques and helps Muslims around the world. But Al Haramain is accused of also funding Al-Qaeda. To find out why, you have to talk to investigators in the United States.
Some of these organizations were established for the purpose of financing terrorism. Others have been co-opted at some point along the way, and now are there serving as fronts for terrorist organizations.
2 of Al Haramain's offices have been closed after the US and Saudi governments named them as fronts for funding Al-Qaeda. Yet Al Haramain's Riyadh headquarters remains open, its director denying any links with bin Laden.
نحن ضد الإرهاب والعنف، ولذلك لا أتصور أنه أي فرع من فروع المؤسسة يستطيع أن يساعد القاعدة. قد يعني نحن لا نستبعد أن يكون يحصل شيء بغير علمنا، لكن حتى الآن لم يقدم لنا أي دليل.
A former FBI analyst, Matt Levitt, says Al Haramain has funded Islamic terror in Southeast Asia.
We now know through the confessions of Omar al-Farouk, who is al-Qaeda's primary liaison to the Jamal Islamiyah in Southeast Asia, that the Jamal Islamiyah was being funded in large part by wealthy Saudis, primarily through the Al Haramain Islamic Foundation there.
So we've confirmed that Omar al-Farouk visited Al Haramain in Makassar, but that's all. That's all.
One or 2 times they told me.
Right. And did he receive money from them?
No, you know, يعني هو كان عاطل عن العمل، هو عربي وعاطل عن العمل في إندونيسيا. فكان إذا وجد أي جهة عربية يحاول يتصل بهم.
The World Assembly of Muslim Youth is another Saudi charity suspected of funding Islamic terror in Asia. Since September 11, the Saudi government says it's imposed tight new controls on Saudi charities to stop their funds reaching terrorists.
So this is where we feed our communities of volunteers.
But the charity's deputy director, Salah Babir, reveals the cash flowing through Muslim charities is beyond government control.
If a Muslim has $1,000 as a zakah and he wants to spend it on, for example, give it to anybody, you have no way, no system can stop that. Not even a government. It's very hard to really stop this.
So there's no new government system of controls?
I would not say that there is a new system. There is no control because, I mean, this is a charitable organization. We are actually working along with the government and along the same lines. We are we are not simply accepting the fact that we do not want to just live by what the Western media is telling us to do.
To many Saudis, charity can include funding militants in Palestine.
I am not actually saying here that we want to legitimize terrorism or we want to go after killing civilians. But when you have someone seeing his own family being killed, his own house destroyed, then you cannot ask him to just sit down and talk logic.
Well,
but there's new pressure on these links. Working for the families of the victims of September 11, Washington lawyer Alan Gerson is suing Saudi charities, banks and even royal family members for $1 trillion for financing September 11.
In many respects, having money around and allowing that money to go to the wrong sources is like providing a gun.
As well as links to September 11, Gerson has discovered disturbing new claims that Saudi money funded the bombing in Bali.
We have seen evidence of money that went from Saudi sources that went through the medium of various entities in Europe to support terrorist cells there. If you connect the dots between terrorist cells in Europe and terrorist cells in Europe that received financing from individuals and entities in Saudi Arabia, those terrorist cells in Europe definitely had connections with Bali.
There have been several reports, the most recent of which was written at the request and for the United Nations, which document the fact that Saudis have, over the years, agreed to finance certain radical Islamic organizations on the silent condition that their operations and that their recruitment would be abroad and not at home.
No, look, you're referring to the media reports that say Saudi Arabia bribed or Saudi Arabia paid off Bin Laden, Al-Qaeda to be out Saudi Arabia. This is not correct at all. This is just media reports. Completely not correct because Bin Laden's official position years ago was not only to hit America, but also to hit Saudi Arabia. He is anti-Saudi Arabia. He is anti-ruling family. He is anti-presence of America, American troops in the Gulf region. So how could we, I mean, how could someone dare to say that we were financing him and telling him to be outside of our country when he's trying to topple our regime here?
The regime's future is of immediate concern. Saudi Arabia's ruling royals unified the nation at the point of the sword, a campaign they come together once a year to celebrate. But today their security depends on US bases, an insult to many Muslims and the main reason bin Laden launched his jihad against the West. War in Iraq, they fear, could further fuel extremism. Many consider Crown Prince Abdullah more progressive than his society, but he's caught in a dilemma. Crack down on extremism and risk a Muslim backlash, don't do enough and upset the West.
Some voices we have in the administration are really becoming anti-Saudi Arabia, but the pressure that's being addressed right now, the pressure that's being exerted from outside is not helping because no community would like to change if it's looked upon by its people and its region like it's coming from outside, that's being dictated upon.
The Saudi system produced bin Laden and his suicide fighters, but American policies have given him a popular reason to fight. While neither change, it's likely the money will continue flowing to Islam's extremist cause.